I'm live, alone. No Mark. He's in Vegas, having a good time, gambling his life away. Lucky dog. Welcome, everybody, to Panfish Nation. I am here with a mystery guest to be determined. If you're waiting to see who it is, your wait is almost there. But I have something to share with you first. Today, I go out to get the mail, and there's a package and no address for return. So I open it up, and somebody sent me a pair of Brian B. glasses. Ho, ho, ho. I thought it was kind of funny. If anybody knows who sent them to me, please let me know. I kind of like them. Now, for all... What? I am started. James Dockery.
Why the mystery co-host? Everybody knows it's either going to be me or Chad or Josh or,
I will tell you why. Because I asked Mark to make me a thumbnail, and that's what he made. So that's what we went with.
Okay. Well,
wonder
better than nothing.
While he's sitting out there at the crap table, if he's going, that dumbass put that up.
Well, and okay, disclosure time. My opinions are. He kicked me out again.
I didn't mean to. I was typing in there and I hit enter and it knocked you out. So I got to quit doing that.
You got to quit doing that. We're gonna start calling you Mark Jr. ending the show early.
Oh man, wasn't that funny?
Not for Chad.
Yeah, but it was funny for the rest of us.
This is true.
James, I want to go into the people that's in chat in just a second, but you have invited me the last couple of weeks in on a Wednesday night show that you started up doing about tying jigs.
Yep.
It is a huge hit. People
Not
love
really.
it. Well, it really is. It really is for somebody that just started one up in the middle of the week. It is so much fun to do that. The people enjoy it. I get messages all the time about that. They're worried about you stopping doing it. And I just want you to know, I think you need to keep going. It's not about anything except having a good time. And we have a good time. Now, you have to watch it or you might get your modesty shocked. But it's fun.
It's not for children. And it's not for the faint of heart.
No, that's right.
That kind of stuff. I mean, we do use adult language. There is adult beverage drinking.
Really?
So you've been warned.
But it's fun. It's fun. We've had several guys on there, Josh and Chad and myself and you, and let's see who else has been on there.
Double hook angling.
Dave's been on there. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a blast. I'm going to try to run up here to the top of this thing and try to go through it and welcome everybody in. I think Avid was the first one in, and then Mike Sampson, David Martin, Newbie Catfishing, Big Skip Fishing, Carmel Muncie, Cat Life Outdoors. Let's see. Try to get some of these. I'm not as fast as Chad and Mark are. There's my lovely wife, Cindy. Tim Donna. Coal Creek Catfishing Billy, welcome. Troy with Real and Virtual Outdoors. Jerry Parker, Kentucky Redneck Outdoors. I think I said Big Skip Fishing, but we're going to say it one more time. There is Maurice Kaysen. Welcome, sir. Glad to have you in here.
Maurice.
Mystery co-host ain't me. They didn't offer me any bacon. Okay. Let's see where we at here. Team Snagging Whiskers. Dustin, welcome. Chucky. Josh, the Weekend Angler. I thought there's a net. I thought I'd seen his wife Christina in here a minute ago.
There's the Fraternal Union of Catfish Deplorables. That is a really good guy. I want you to know.
Is if I don't forget, I have some decals from him I could give away tonight. There's David Double Hook Angle. Danny Stone, welcome. Let's see. Where am I at? I'm getting down to the bottom. Fishing by Faith Outdoors. Fishing in Freedom. Hey, Richard. Wow, Dockery 2 nights in a row. That is correct, Jerry. There is Tall Betty with a couple crosses fishing. Robin
Oh,
C.
Betty.
We're getting closer to the bottom, James. Whoops. It skipped on me. Crappie Day fish on. Matt with Wannabe Outdoors. Man, that's a long way down the bottom. I thought I was closer than that, but I guess not. Mike Sampson, he was earlier. I think that's it. I hope we got everybody. If we didn't, I'm sorry. We'll try to catch you guys up if we missed you and we see you in here. So somebody new, we'll give you a shout out when we see you. But as of right now, want to thank everybody for joining us on the show tonight. If you haven't hit that thumbs up, please do so. If you haven't subscribed and you like our content, we appreciate it if you do that. And if you are inclined to, there's a join button down there. We're join and be part of it and get a little perks here and there and different things that goes on. Some things we announce early and you get to know all about that. So there's that. James, we touched on your show and how much fun it is. Are your plans to keep doing that for a while?
For a while, yeah. Until people get really, really mad and I offend, like, I don't know, 90% of the people that have actually subbed to me, so they actually unsub. Because unlike these other, I seriously, from the bottom of my heart, I give a rat's ass about subs to YouTube. I really don't.
Important to me and Chad and Mark than it is James.
Yeah, it really and truly is. I mean, you know, my life is not going to revolve around YouTube. And the only reason why I'm doing this is because I have a rule of, you know, if I'm on a show now, that it's $50 a night, and Lyle paid me the $50. So I'm here. I get a speaking fee. So keep that in mind if you want me on your show, folks. It's $50 a night per hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lance McCouguy and Jeremy Creole Catfishing has both joined us in here. Fishing Freedom at Richard, I think I called him a while ago. Fishing with D, hooked on fishing. Hooked on D fishing. I'll get it spit out here in a minute. We're glad to have D in here. She's the better part of the Fields family, but it isn't her birthday, you know. James Allball, Lyle, and Dockery are just on a break from being elves at the local mall. What was that about? We've been nice to Jerry, right?
Parker's a little upset and pissy because he hadn't killed anything in like the last 3 days.
He's been on a roll, though. He's been knocking them deer out, and good for him, man.
Well, every single one of those deers, he should be saving the bucktail off of that.
And send them to me.
No, he's not.
If he wants to dye them, he go ahead and dye them first.
Hey, guys, on a serious note, though, keep Creo and his family in your prayers. They lost a fur baby here the other day, and it was special to his son. So you guys, you know, keep that in mind.
Here's something that Uncle Jeep says Dockery needed a tax write-off, or he had court-ordered community service. That's why he does podcasts.
Uncle Jeep, it's actually both.
Well, that touches on a subject. I had a letter in the mail the other day. They're trying to make me do jury duty the first of next year. I don't want to do jury duty.
But do it anyway.
I don't want to. You may never have to go up and do it. You know, that's the thing. But are they going to let me get up and go pee when I need to?
At your age,
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
just walk in there like you normally do. Use your walker, and you just tell them, about halfway through the first, sentence, go, hey, I got to go to the bathroom. You get up, walk back, go to the bathroom, come back about 15 minutes later, do it all over again in about 30 seconds. Guarantee you're getting kicked off that jury.
Jerry says he didn't think about saving them deer tails. He'll start saving them now. Yeah, they'll
Yep.
save them.
Save them. And you guys at Squirrel Hunt, save those tails too.
Oh yeah, especially for reds, because I can get all the grays I want, but no reds. I wanted to ask you, James. You and I talked about dyeing deer tails. What?
Yep.
Last year sometime.
Yep.
Did you ever figure out how to make that work?
Not yet. I'm still working on it.
Okay.
And
because I know people that do it.
Yeah, and a lot of the times, and I can't blame them for this, but a lot of times, a lot of these people that do actually figure it out, they keep that close to their chest, and you can't blame them. I mean, especially if they're in the business of selling that kind of stuff. So
that's true, and I may know a guy that does it that might tell me, but as of yet, I haven't contacted him. Why they call you old? You ain't old. I'm old. Yeah, you are a little older than me, James.
But James, you actually still get out and fish and move around and stuff like that, and it takes an act of Congress to get Lyle out of the house.
That's not true. I'll be ready to go when it's Mendota time.
No, Cindy will have you ready to go when it's Mendota time.
That might be true. You might be right about that.
There you go.
You might. Buck Williams, welcome. Well, we'll be ready to go regardless. I promise. When it comes to Mendota, we'll be ready to go. We're excited about it already. And what, we're 6 months away yet?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yep.
Oh man! So people know that you fish nearly every day as long as you feel like it. Of course.
Yep.
I know you got a bad foot, so if I was up there, I'd kick it probably every other day.
I don't have a bad foot anymore.
Damn it.
We have been over this like 30 times. The foot is fine. It's been healed for almost 6 months now.
But if I kick it, will it make it hurt?
You can't lift your leg up that high.
What? I'm okay. How about if I step on it?
Well, that you probably can.
Do you have a grand total of fish to date for this year?
Yeah. So far this year it is 5,348. 48 fish.
Wow.
For the year.
That's a huge
number.
And you had lots of weeks off.
Okay. Well, no, I didn't have that much time off. But I'm fit. Well, yeah, but I mean, not for that long. But I'm fishing every day. I mean, and a lot of people are like, oh, he only posts pictures, every once a month or twice a month. There's a reason for that. I don't want to see somebody, posting pictures every day.
Yeah.
Of fish they catch. But and there's a couple of people. There are a couple of people that get videos and pictures every single day of the fish that I catch with a taunting little message of some sort.
Yes, I know.
Oh, Creo.
And I do enjoy them, and I'm sure Rob does too.
Yeah, I'm sure Rob does too, because I get the same message. I get the same message from you and Rob and several others that
Rob
it's like you all
emojis. I do.
Yeah, and he kind of spells it out exactly too from time to time. So
do I. That is a huge number, James. It really is, and now all of them are not giant fish, but you've been hitting some really good crappie the last few weeks.
The problem is I can't get over that 2 pound mark this year. I can get right up to it. I mean, I've been at 1.6 or 115 probably 30 times this year, but I just can't seem to break that 2 pound record this year, or the 2 pound mark this year. So maybe next year I'll get back on them and we'll try from them.
Super Dave into chat and Michael Murillo family fishing. Go ahead, James.
Parker had a question there.
Okay. If Dr.
You can
had
find it.
Color and style of crappie jig, what would it be?
I'm going to say probably if I had a choice, and I mean, and this is all I ever had, it would probably be a 1/32 ounce jig head and a 1-inch tube. Because even when the crappie and the bluegill and the bass and everything else that I fish for aren't really wanting to bite, they'll be more up to biting a smaller jig than chasing something big.
There's the birthday boy come to join us.
Hey, Chad.
What's up, fellas? I just wanted a front row seat. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you so much, Freddie and SK. Welcome to chat, buddy. We're glad to have you in here. There's a question from Mike. He says, I'm new to fishing and don't have a ton of money to spend. What gear should I buy for crappie and perch? That's a perfect question for you, James.
Okay, I'm going to tell you right now. Do not spend a lot of money on crappie gear. If you're going after panfish, go to Walmart. Buy the cheapest rod and reel combo that you could possibly get. Then go over and buy you some small jig heads and some tube baits, swim tails, whatever you prefer. And we're not talking the expensive ones. We're talking the cheap ones. Then go over to the line and get you 2 to 4 pound test line. And that's all you need. You do not need a $150 rod and $150 reel and really, really expensive baits. If all you're wanting to do is crappie fish and basically panfish, that's all you need. You don't need the expensive stuff.
Chadwick?
Yeah.
What kind of money is it that Mark has?
That's that Mark Rishbish money.
No. That's Sheila money, guys. We've been over this. It's not Mark's money. It's Sheila's money.
If you have Mark's money, you can buy them high dollar rods and stuff.
You can. But the thing is, once you understand what the fish are wanting, where they are, what time of year they bite the best at, and all this other stuff, you don't need fancy gear.
No,
you really and truly don't.
Rod or one that is really, really sensitive for fishing, for panfish. But you're right. It doesn't take a lot of high dollar gear to do it and get involved with it. And some small hooks and a box of worms and a bobber will catch you a lot of bluegill.
Oh yeah, that is. Yep. Think
Brian,
back to your roots,
welcome, buddy. Go ahead, son.
Hey, Brian, how's it going, bud? But yeah, you don't need expensive gear. You just don't.
No. Tim Alita says, "Eat up, birthday boy."
You eating ice cream, Chad?
Oh, yeah. Did you see the look? You actually came with this personal brownie as well.
Oh, I got banana nut bread in the other room waiting on me. Just thought I'd let you know. So I kind of like banana nut bread.
I just figured I'd come in here and eat some ice cream in front of you.
It's okay. I can take it. James, he don't even like ice cream.
I don't.
Michelle says, Chad, is that ice cream?
It is with hot fudge with it.
Hot fudge. Oh man, that's
anyway.
awesome.
What are we talking about, fellas?
We're talking about catching fish, and James.
No, I'm gone.
9 million of them this year.
Yeah, but wait a second. You do know how to fish, and I mean, and people take kind of. Hold on a second. People make fun of you and stuff like that, but I mean, you know what you're talking about. I mean, hell, you did a hell of a job on those flathead questions there the other night.
I know. I did like 10 times more than Mark would have been able to.
I know. I saw, buddy. I saw.
So,
you guys are gonna get me in trouble with him.
Ask us if we care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you don't.
We don't.
That's a special brownie. When Chad eats it, he'll act normal.
There's no luck with that.
Parker Pursuit says cane pole and minnow as cheap as it gets, thousands upon thousands of crappie. Yes, sir.
Have you tried pricing minnows here lately at bait shops?
No.
Oh, your president has even gotten those prices jacked up.
Your president might have. Mine has not. Mine is to be reelected.
Again, the opinions expressed on this show are mine and mine alone, and in no way affect Catfish Weekly, Panfish Nation, Fields to Water.
These two are their own individuals. I ain't getting into those conversations.
All right. Mike says, I bought an ugly stick spinning rod today and a micro phallus reel with 8-pound line. Is that too heavy? 8's a little bit heavy. I usually don't use anything over 6, but you can.
Lyle. You have to understand, some of the comments that are in chat are not meant to be read.
I got you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Just
some derelict is doing that. Yeah, man. Kim Burnett, welcome. Yeah, I don't pay no attention to that stuff.
Hold it together, Chad. Damn it.
You're supposed
This is supposed to be a serious show, all right?
Yeah, you do that.
And then you start giggling and laughing, and then Lyle starts, wondering what the hell's going on. And
yeah, because if I know who it is, if I find out about it, I'm probably going to have some problems. But I don't pay attention to that. If they ask me a question, it's supposed to be serious, and I try to answer it as knowledgeably as I can.
That's right. That's what Wednesday night and the bait shop are for, guys.
That's true, because they don't care.
We don't. Well, Chad does a little bit. I mean, he keeps trying to reel us back in. I thought maybe since we weren't on his show that he'd, let us kind of fly. And Mark not being here with the get James out of here button. So,
did Chav have edibles in that ice cream? I don't think so.
I'm just a visitor on Panfish Nation now. No, Catfish Weekly.
Got the reel out.
I have steak in that one. I don't know what happened. This one, let it fly.
Yeah, it's all about having a good time. We're going to talk fishing and whatever happens, we're going to happen.
Yep.
Yeah, I got most important who that might be, and I can't prove it, but if I do, someday we'll meet.
Yeah. But no, getting back to the most important thing, your line is more important than any rod and reel combo or rod and reel that you could possibly get, especially this time of year. I don't know. I mean, the colder the water gets, the better your line needs to be. And if you're buying the cheap Walmart knockoff brand line, then you're not going to catch as many as you do if you spend a little bit of extra money and go with a little bit higher quality line that's a little bit thinner.
I will mention one line that I like that's very inexpensive, and it's the Excel line from Bass Pro.
Yeah. Chad's got something right there, right, bud?
That's Crappie Max.
Yep.
I hear that's really good. I've used a lot of the line that Big Cat Fever sells. I've got it in 2-pound, 4-pound, and 6-pound. I like their light line better than I do their heavy line because for me, it has too much stretch in it. That's why I never go back to monofilament for catfishing rods and reels, because I do not like stretch. If you let the action of your rod do its job and the drag on your reel do its job, there's no reason for ever to have stretch in line. No. So I don't care for that, but I do like it when I'm using 1 and 2 pound.
Yes.
Line for crappie and bluegill.
Right. See, and that's what a lot of mine throughout the year, I will not go any higher than 6-pound test line on any of my crappie stuff. And that's dead of summer, and I'm fishing deep inside brush piles and stuff like that. For the most part, it's 2 to 4 pound test line, and it's always mono. And I'm bouncing that jig all over that brush pile. And that's the most important, one of the important things that people overlook, is a brush pile. Actually, Robin, I don't. In Clearwater, I really and truly don't. I think it's all about the action of either the jig you're using, whether it's a plastic or hand tie or something like that. I really do not think that color matters. All the fish see is in the water is a shadow, and whether it's a light color or a dark color, doesn't matter. The biggest thing about a jig that I have found, in my opinion, is the size.
There you go. I think that Kim is talking about the stuff that you had up there, Chad. That's his
Yeah,
leader for fishing
that's
4-pound camel.
Yep.
I use clear stuff on my fly rods because that's what I got. You know,
Yeah,
if I had
that
much
was.
other stuff,
Yeah.
I'd probably use that. But I'm using 4-pound clear. I can't think of the name of that stuff from Big Cat Fever for some reason. It's just I'm a blank, but that's what I'll be using on mine. I've got a bunch of it, and there's no sense to be buying any more as long as that's working.
Yep. And that's it. And we can sit on here, we can talk about different techniques and what I use and all this stuff. Guys, if you are using something that is actually working, use it.
Don't
if you don't change up your the way that you've fished and you've had success doing because some idiot on a cell phone on YouTube has told you this is the way you need to do it to catch fish. If you're catching good quality fish, do it.
Unless you're subscribed to myself or James Dockery, then you should listen to us.
No, don't
watch
even listen
every
to me.
video at least twice.
I don't believe anybody's on TikTok. They can't none of them catch fish. Take them away from their home water, they're done. I fished a whole bluegill, no bite with 8-pound, switched to 4-pound, no sinker, and just a hook worm.
Yep.
Bigger fish in a hole that appeared empty.
Oh yeah, yeah, and line is often really overlooked, and especially when you're pan fishing and stuff like that. And you don't. I mean, there's been people that look at some of the line records that are held around the world.
That's right.
They're all caught on 2 to 4 pound test line, and they're reeling in 30, 40 pound fish. So if you set your rod up just right, then no big deal. You can fight that fish and get him in.
Yep, I agree.
And yeah, that camo, the Bass Pro camo line that I was just showing off, that's how we found out about that one is, listening to Kim talk about what he was using with fly rods and stuff like that. And we found it. And we've got a couple spools of it.
It's probably all right to use. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Josh says mom landed a 20-pound common carp on a cane pole once. Gear matters a lot less than people think. And that's a very
Exactly. And don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean that I have not bit the bullet and have a really nice setup for crappie and catfish and all this other stuff. But that was just me trying to piss Katie off by buying really expensive fishing gear that I never use. So
I've never done such a thing.
I never thought you would ever do anything to make her mad. You should not, but
I agree with you though. We're talking about the quality of line and learning how to use your gear is more important than having, like you just said, the $100, $200 rods with a $200 reel on it and that sort of thing. Right here in Northern Kentucky, we're probably 15 minutes from where we live, the state record grass carp, 58 pounds, 8 ounces. Do you know what that was caught on?
Yeah.
I think it was 4-pound test or maybe 6. All he was doing was bluegill fishing for bait, and he caught that.
Yeah, but how many times, and we've all done that, go out fishing for bluegill and we're using a small hook and a small ultralight rod and reel. Yeah. And next thing you know, you're hooked up to a nice, decent sized channel cat or blue cat or a, big bass or something like that. And you find him to get him in.
My record biggest channel cat for years and years and years was caught on an ultralight with 4-pound test line jigging for crappie on Stockton Lake. Cindy and I was over there one day fishing, and it was 12 pounds. And that was my biggest channel cat till we went to Mendota.
No, mine was the 16-pound one that I used for my YouTube logo thing. And it was caught on 4-pound test line, and I was actually crappie fishing.
Yeah.
He just happened to hit the jig, and and I'm not gonna lie, I prayed for about 3 or 4 minutes. I would cuss like a sailor for about 3 or 4 minutes, and the fight was about 30 minutes long. So you do the math, and I think I canceled each other out, so I'm still going to hell.
This was my birthday dinner that the wife got me from Texas Roadhouse. I had a New York strip and baked potato and a brownie with ice cream and hot fudge for dessert.
But what kind of ice cream? Vanilla?
Vanilla.
No.
All right. There you go. Dave says, I catch catfish on 2-pound line all the time.
Yeah, we catch them a lot. Like when we're trolling baits out behind the boat, we'll catch them little channel cats and stuff all the time.
Yep. SK Crappie Catching Adventure says, I found there's a difference in catching crappie all the time or just sometimes. Confidence in what you're using and the tackle is key. Having an open mind puts fish in the boat consistently. Them are great words to go.
Yeah. And like I said, I mean, and SK is an awesome crappie fishing guy. He's got video.
Bluegill fisherman too.
Well, that he is. But I mean, you can go and watch his videos. He knows what he's doing. And every single time he uses the same technique. If you guys could see me every single time, if I'm serious about getting crappie up on the bank, I'm using one method and one method only. And that is a small jig head. And it's usually under some sort of a bobber. And I'm all mine is casting from the bank unless I've got my kayak out or my float tube. So, but that's what I do, you know.
Richard wants to know if James, do you get to ice fish every year or is it a rarity once in a while thing there?
Up here it's usually about probably every other year or so we get to ice fish. And then there's some years that you don't want out on the ice, and then there's others that it's all you can do to drill down through the ice. So, but yeah, I actually enjoy ice fishing. And I'm trying to convince these two guys, along with Creo, to come all the way up here and do a little bit of ice fishing, but apparently that's never going to happen.
Yeah, no.
Apparently, I've seen what's considered safe ice to do different weights, whether it's a person or, a snowmobile, a truck, house, and I've yet to see the amount of ice thickness that would hold me and make me feel like I'm going to be okay.
That's
and
what
I'm going to tell you something, all right? And this is part of the thrill of ice fishing. There's nothing like the feeling of sitting out there on the ice, open up, and when that ice starts popping and cracking, and you can feel it. But here's the thing.
I'm gone.
I will say, that would be when you see me.
Okay, but you have to understand. Hold on. When that ice is cracking and popping, that means that the ice is actually growing. It's making new ice. And so that ice is expanding.
I don't care. If that ice cracks, it's assholes and elbows, buddy. That's all you're going to see.
To me, when you hear that ice cracking and popping, it's about to make me an ice cube, and that ain't happening.
Yeah, it cracks before you get on it. So I know when I put my big ass on it, it's going to crack some more. Parker says, having a bunch of colors in the box for crappie, but always end up using the same few colors every time.
Yeah.
There's a standard of and it works for bluegills as well. There's a standard color set that I use that I try a lot of different stuff, but there's 3 or 4 different ones that consistently put fish on the line.
Yep. And that is true. And here's the, if you use hand ties and you are successful at using hand ties and you catch more fish on those than you do on plastics, stay with hand ties. You know what you're doing on that. If you catch more fish on plastic, stay with that.
If it's working, don't try to fix it. David Martin says, I've got plenty of 5-pound channel cats to the boat with 4-pound line and the line snapped the hook off once I grab the line. Take the rod out of the picture, they break it. I just never had a net bluegill fishing. I have a net for bluegill.
And so do I. And for that reason right there, I've caught way too many channel cats and blue cats, even flatheads, while out crappie and bluegill fishing, to not have me a net.
Yeah, if you get a channel cat in, man, there's nothing much better than a channel cat about like that. Knock his head and tail off and clean the insides of him out, skin that baby and put him in a frying pan. They don't get a whole lot better than that.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you crappie or bluegill and do it. I mean, either one of them will always work.
See, and there's another guy that Josh should be able to get out on that ice. Not a problem.
I drink water in Mexico before I go out. That's a great comment right there, Josh.
I don't get it. I'm not going to sit around for 3 or 4 months and not catch fish. It's just not happening.
Oh, look!
You guys think I'm a dick? I'm a dick 90% of the time.
Yeah, but
try me without going fishing
or coffee.
Or coffee.
Tim says I just use whatever D Field sends me for hand ties. Did you know that was going on, Chad? Or is she sneaking out of your room?
I was saying, yeah. I mean, that's probably where all the ones I go end up, because I'm sure I only have time to use them ever much. So.
Parker says, "Don't be a wuss, Josh. If it gets cold enough, we got a spot we're trying this winter." Well, that'd be a perfect place to get Josh. If you get Josh out on that ice, I'm going to see some video of that. I'm
going to get you out on the ice one of these days. You just wait.
Parker, I'd play leapfrog with a uniform corn before I go ice fishing. Oh, chats are rolling tonight.
Yeah, Josh is another one that usually gets pictures and videos and stuff like that sent to him while he's at work too.
Parker?
No, Josh.
Oh, Josh, yeah. Well, he should, yeah. I would love to ice fish, just ain't going to happen in Swamp East Missouri. Well, we had rain all day today. It wasn't hard, but it was steady. And I'll bet we didn't raise any of the lakes any noticeable amount because they're that low. And
they are that low.
Yeah, I know where Richard and Parker and them guys fish over there on the Mississippi River, and it's terribly low. I got a cousin that lives in Canada, and I love her to death, but I could care less how much snow they get. The more, the better. If it keeps them snowed in all winter, all over the northern states, so we get water in these rivers. We need it terribly bad, and I think that's going to be the only way that we get it, because it don't look like we're going to fall rains we normally get.
Yep. Yeah, that's the same way here. I mean, our lakes and rivers and streams and stuff like that around here are so low, it's not even funny. I mean, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it is. It's horrible.
Send me your email address, Josh. I'll start sending them to you. I have no problem about it.
Dave said that's why I built a dock at my farm pond to go ice fishing. Kansas ice and a wheelchair is not happening. I'm thinking that's probably not a good combination, but what do I?
Dave, we can get some pontoons for that wheelchair. You drive out there on that ice. That's not a problem.
I don't know about that.
Fall through, you just float.
I don't know. Tim Molina, I think that that'd be bad advice.
Actually, no. A lot of people, what they do is, Parker, what they'll do is they'll take a splitting maul and weld it onto a piece of steel rod and just hammer that son of a bitch through the ice. And it'll make a big enough hole.
Yeah.
Looks like we got some water we're getting ready to send the Mississippi boys.
Really?
Yeah. We're getting ours is on the rise up here. We got about another half a foot, and then over the next day and a half, and then it's going to start pushing out to them.
Welcome, Ernie Brown. Glad to see you in here. The thing is, though, that only helps the people below Cairo, Illinois.
Yeah.
Where the Ohio.
They'll stop it.
and jumps into the Mississippi, it doesn't help anybody up
Hey,
north.
the Ohio is doing their part. I can't help the rest of the guys up above, the confluence there. So they're going to have to find their own water. Maybe Mark can send some of that Fox River water down there and help them
I don't
out.
think it's going to help much either.
You sure you want that Chicago water down in your area?
It won't come to my area. It'll go down to Mississippi.
Don't be doing that. I fish over there too, jackass.
Rod Knockers Fishing says ice fishing in Memphis when sleet freezes to the bimini top. That's right. Tim says my prosthetic is just one big anchor attached to me.
Ew.
That's that. Yeah, I don't think I'd want to be out on that ice like that.
Tim, maybe
it's actually relaxing, guys. I'm serious. When it's snowing and there's like 6 inches of ice out there, you really don't hear anything, except for the popping of the ice. But I mean,
you know what you'll hear? And you're drowning underneath.
that is where. Listen, this is where safety comes into mind. All right, you have to have some. There are little ice chisel things that's little handles on them, ice pegs. If you fall through, you can climb your ass out. It's not that big of an ordeal. Then you walk back to your vehicle, you get in, you turn the heater on, you drive home.
That's what I'm talking about.
And maybe the weekend angler could do a short tip Saturday to help Tim out with what he was talking about there with this prosthetic. Maybe he could fill it with some foam or something. Or
there you go, get it to float.
Knowing MacGyver there, he could probably do some kind of take one of Lyle's 400 whole vest thing that he's got because he buys one every time he sees one on sale.
What?
The inflatable vest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he's got that Miles Stokes money. So, but maybe Josh could rig something up to go around the prosthetic leg.
I got to bring this up one more time.
Dave
Stone won a jig mold from Dave Fleetman. He don't evidently melt his lead and make his own sinker, so he had Dave send that to me, and I just got a message that should be here tomorrow. And I will.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, I will.
Let me check my messages. Nope, nothing nice from Danny Stone like a jig mold.
And it's your birthday.
It is my birthday. I had to buy my own ice cream.
So Uncle Jeep said, "Wait, I thought ice fishing was just an excuse to drink adult beverages and do stupid guy stuff. It is when you're younger, and if you've ever fallen through the ice, you'll stop that drinking and stupid guy stuff pretty quick when you're on the ice." So,
I agree, Josh. Easy short tip Saturday. Humans don't belong on ice. Josh misses a jump playing leapfrog with the unicorn. Can use him to break ice. Might break water brown. Might make water brown. Parker. And if you fall through the ice, who helps you find your testicular fortitude?
They come back down in about a month, guys. They do.
So sure. David says, I've seen ice fishing tournaments with thousands of holes in a football size arena. No thanks.
Yep.
Can you imagine if just going to take one crack to start that from everybody falling through?
But again, that ice is always cracking. It's always popping. As long as that ice is forming and you hear that snapping and that crack and that pop, then it's good ice.
You keep telling me that, and my brain says he's full of shit.
They're all like, the clear ice is the best ice.
Yeah. No.
Come find out. That's all I got to say.
Buck Williams says pike bite is great in the winter through the ice. I bet it is. I like
yes, it is.
Guys catch some fish. I really do. I watch a ton of ice fishing videos. I like to watch them catch. Troy Hansen and Amy catch a lot of channel cat through the ice.
Yeah.
Our buddy Luke Hinges catches a lot of channel cat through the ice. But them guys all fish for walleye and bass and bluegill and crappie and other stuff also. But they target each species separate from the other. That don't mean they won't catch one of the others while they're doing it, but they'll go out and one day they'll target channel cat. The next day they go, and where most of them are fishing at, that's all there is channel cat, flathead. The flathead are dormant, so they're not catching those. But the next time they go out, they're going to target bluegill or crappie or walleye or something else. No telling what they got up there in some of them northern states. I mean, they got everything. So, but if pike is a hot one, hey, let's catch pike.
Yep.
If you're going to be out there endangering your life, you might as well catch what's biting.
Right, and a lot of what I do is, depending on what kind of mood I'm in, is what I'll go fishing for. And I'll target bass, I'll target crappie, I'll target bluegill, channel cats, blues, sometimes flatheads. I'm not as big a catfishing guy as I used to be, but I've gone after muskie and pike. Hell, I'll go over and fish for nothing but drum, just for shits and giggles, and they're good table fare. So, yes, they are. You keep saying that, and you eat Asian carp. Trust me.
I would not.
Drum
I would not eat Asian. I would.
He does.
Asian carp are they're not the greatest thing in the world, but they're pretty good.
No, they're not.
Ooh. Yeah.
I seen Ernie was back in the hospital.
Yeah,
Hope you get feeling better, bud.
Hope you guys are doing better.
His heartbeat was really low.
His heartbeat was low.
Yeah, his heartbeat was really low. Hope he's doing all right. Yeah, Robin, see, people take vehicles on the ice, and some people have lost vehicles through the ice, too.
That's correct.
Yeah, but they get them back. Because once they fall through the ice, you actually have to get them out, or you start getting fined per day that vehicle's in the water. So.
I'm looking for something, so hang on.
Whatever.
I got a message, so.
In New Mexico, in Mexico, we only have like 2 mountain lakes that you can actually ice fish in.
Are you guys ready for something?
I'm scared.
I'm going to do this, so.
I'm very scared.
You got your hand on the delete button.
He took himself out.
He took himself out of the show.
Oh, what a jackwagon. I love it.
Thank you, Josh, for that. I'm not sure how Mark will feel about it when he sees it, but I liked it.
Oh, he's drunk. Who cares?
That's true.
Oh, boys, oh, boys.
I have another one I could share with them.
Oh, goodness.
Let's not.
Okay.
We've had enough of that.
Oh, no. There's never such a thing as enough. Well,
Boys,
maybe enough, but not too much.
I'm going to jump up here and go spend a little bit of birthday time with the wife before she has to go to bed for work.
There you go, bud.
And I will talk to you all.
Thanks for jumping in here tonight. Happy birthday.
Thank you, buddy.
Glad you
Happy
joined
birthday.
us.
I've already told you it once, so I'm not telling you it again, jackass.
One last scoop for you, Lyle.
There you go, buddy. Enjoy.
Have a good night.
See you, man.
See ya.
Muddy Water Bait and Tackle, welcome to chat. I hope Chrissy's doing okay.
Don't do the broadcast.
What's that? Don't end the broadcast.
Don't end the broadcast.
Oh, man. I kind of enjoyed that. video.
A little bit.
Huh?
It's a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Kind of funny. Anything that you could tell people for the transition between hot weather and ice fishing, which is where we're at now, to help catch more
slow. The key word in all of that, I mean, once the water starts to cool down, and we're talking ice fishing, you know, right before ice fishing, during ice fishing, and right as the fall comes, is slow. Slow your presentation down as slow as you possibly can. Those fish they're not moving really fast. They're cold, they're sluggish. There you go. I like that one.
That should work.
Yep, that should. But yeah, I mean, downsize your hooks, downsize everything, including your line. If you're cold water fishing and ice fishing, if you're using above 2 pound test line especially for crappie and bluegill, then your line is way too big.
And I know you're a firm believer in small jigs. And
yes,
that means small hooks, small bodies, small everything. What is the maximum length for cool and cold water fishing overall of a jig that you're using, whether it be a hand tie or a plastic or whatever? What would you recommend people to use for an overall length?
No more than an inch.
An inch or less.
An inch or less. Jason from Crappie Zilla makes these small, little bitty, tiny jigs. I've got some over here somewhere. And they're, yes, just like those right there. Those are about an inch or a half an inch long. Those are perfect size, especially when it starts getting colder and you're basically using all but an ice fishing hook. You've dropped down to even like 1/94th of an ounce jig head and a very, very small hook on top of that one.
That's right.
And you want it slow. I mean, the smaller the better. I firmly believe. I mean, and if you guys are catching them on bigger things, then keep doing what you're doing.
Absolutely.
But I'm a believer that the smaller is a little bit better.
Now,
and yeah, 1/64th, 1/80th, all those things. And again, if you like it, and enjoy using hand ties, and you understand exactly how the different materials work in your hand ties, versus squirrel tail, deer tail, duck feather, chicken feather, whatever, use those. But if you're, using the plastics, use those.
That's right. That's right. Jerry says, what bit of ice fishing I have done did well with Swedish pimple tipped with waxworm.
Yeah. And I usually tip mine with a waxworm once the ice comes on. Now, right now, I'm still catching a limit of crappie just pretty much every day. Just using a small 1/64th ounce jig and a 1-inch tube jig. So,
I got some of them too.
Yep.
And I got some more coming that you don't have.
Uh-oh.
I'll be posting pictures of them when I get
I'm going to have to drive down there, take some off of you.
You don't even know where I'm getting them.
No, but I'm pretty sure I can talk Cindy into finding them for me.
You don't even know about it. Just found out about them today.
Oh, she's going to kick your ass.
Okay. It's all fun. When a guy calls me up and say, hey, will you try some stuff? I'm going to do that.
There you go.
It's hard to not to turn that down. James, it's been an absolute blast having you on Panfish Nation with us tonight. I enjoyed it so very much. I was going to set the giveaway tool away and give away some jigs tonight, but I forgot to do it, and it's getting late, so we're not going to do that. We'll try to do it next week.
That's fine.
You need to get that figured out because, I didn't tie any jigs this past week on Wednesday night, but I'm probably going to next week.
Well, I have to check with Katie what the calendar is. With it being the holiday season, we do have some classes and stuff like that we're going to be teaching at nights around here.
Talk about that again just for a little bit. You and Katie do tons and tons of stuff, And the classes and things that you teach, you're affiliated with the Department of Conservation in the state of Missouri, and you go around to different places all over your area of Missouri and do all kinds of classes. Would you tell everybody about some of the classes that you two teach?
Pretty much anything that has to do with the fishing, of course, we teach. Hunter's education, firearm safety. We usually do 1 to 2 shooting classes for beginners, where we bring out the small caliber handguns and rifles all the way up to the big caliber, stuff, so that people that are afraid of weapons, they've never fired them before, can at least see if this, something that they would even enjoy. Because a lot of the times what we run into is they've never fired one because it was, it's big scary thing. And then once they do start shooting off a couple of rounds, they lighten up pretty much about, weapons and stuff. Some of the other stuff we do is different type of wildlife identification, furs, tracks, that kind of stuff. We go over different types of trees here in Missouri. Just it's anything that has to do with wildlife. We teach classes for the Missouri Department of Conservation and also the Missouri State Parks. So and the state parks. So
Josh thinks you need to do a live painting thing on YouTube one night.
I don't know about that. But yeah, I mean, and it does. I mean, we try to hold at least one class a week. We actually started doing some classes for the juvenile detention center down here. And the kids seem to love them, and it gives them something to do other than just sit there and watch TV or sit in their cells.
Really a cool deal, because those kids need an activity in their life.
Yep, they do. And we go in there and have fun, and and I during the daytime, they're by the time we leave, they're pretty much jacked up on sugar and everything like that. And I know the guys that work the night shifts, and I get all kinds of nice little text messages and emails from them and telling me how much they really appreciate what I did for them that day. And so
one of the things that I didn't know that you guys done, that Katie teaches outdoor cooking classes.
Yes.
On cast iron stuff, and I've been visiting with her about stuff like that, because we haven't done any camping in several years, and we're talking about trying to do some of that this year. So I kind of got to get prepared, and if you don't like it, all the stuff that you get is all resellable because everybody wants it. So it's not
exactly
a big deal. But
the Dutch oven classes. Yeah, and pretty much if it has to do with anything outdoors, that's what our main focus is on, is getting people educated into the outdoors, whether it's how to build a pond for your property, identifying different, type of plants, mushrooms, all that different stuff. So, and no, I'm not going to do a Bob Ross, because I guarantee I'd probably end up painting a scene exactly where that body's head. So we can't do that.
Well, I've enjoyed having you on here. Of course, I always do. You and I talk quite a bit, and Mark will be back next week. He won't watch this show because the show you and I helped him do on his channel when his stuff didn't work, he never watched that. He thought we'd embarrass him. Little did he know.
He's right. We would have.
We had help tonight, though. Chad helped embarrass Mark a little bit. Josh did. So it wasn't just you and me this time. Parker. Thanks, Ernie. Glad you enjoyed. You guys get to feeling better. James, I'm going to end the show with that. We'll see everybody next Thursday night here after the bait shop, and be sure to tune in to watch Catfish Weekly on Monday night. See you then.
See you guys.